Hello, my name is Rūta and this is NextGen Arts for Enlightenment. We are talking to artists who are practicing consciousness-based art and aim to develop the full potential of creativity through the practice of transcendental meditation. Today, I am talking with Justina Zigmantaite. She is a Lithuanian graphic designer, book illustrator, and painter. She graduated from Vilnius College of Design in 2019, and she has worked in publishing house Nieko Rimto in Lithuania, in kindergarten Tele Bim-Bam as an art teacher, and illustrated children's poetry book Gyveno Kartą, which in Lithuanian means there once lived. And meanwhile, she had her first painting exhibition in 2021 in her hometown Marijampolė. Justina worked as an oil painting animator in the new BreakThru Films production The Peasants, and later joined the VFX team, becoming a lead in-betweening artist, and later even an in-betweening team supervisor. Now Justina focuses on painting and mural art. Justina, thank you so much for joining and giving this interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me here. I feel very much appreciated and honored to be here with you and talk. Thank you very much for introducing me.
Thank you. Can you tell me, how did you become interested in design and illustration and painting even?
Well, I was thinking about it and I couldn't find the starting point because it was always with me, this interest in arts, illustrating, creating something. Even as a little girl, I was creating for my dolls little books, creating my own illustrating, animating worlds. And later on, as I grew up, I found the joys of Photoshop and then on digital art. And then I became interested in design, I guess. And later on, I figure out there's much joy in oil painting also. So this is just me exploring the materials and finding interested in it since I was little.
It was actually the same for me. I just never stopped. When people ask me, how did I become an artist, I say I just never stopped. So it seems that it's very the same for you.
Yeah, and I can mention that the most recent joy is murals. I don't know how, but I started to enjoy painting on the walls. Since you mentioned it about exploring this never-ending exploring, I remember that my last recent joy is murals, and as I remember it, I was doing it already on my walls at my parents' house when I was living there. I just asked my mother if I can paint on the wall. I tried it, liked it, and now as I remember, so it was there, but just now on other canvases, walls. So yeah.
So it was the same with murals too. You were naturally doing it, and now you're enjoying it doing professionally.
There is room to improve, for sure.
Yeah. Could you tell me about your goal and about the vision for what you do, for what you create? What inspires you to do everything that you do?
Well, the inspiration, the goal, the main purpose, why I do it is very egoistical, I would say. It is for my own joy, because I believe it is important for artists to be in joy state and create out of joy state. So when you are joyful, everybody sees it in your art. And I feel joy when I create, and it's a cycle, loop cycle of creation for me, I would say. So it's, I don't know if people, when looking at art, feels exactly the same what I feel, but the purpose is also, the purpose is to let the viewer perceive that feeling of a little bit of what I live in, what state I live in. So that's the things that inspires me, but also just wanting to expand also is the reason why I create.
These are such beautiful ideas. Do you see how when the audience, when the viewers are looking at your work, do you see that they get a piece of your understanding, a little piece of your world, a little something? Do they reflect that to you?
Actually, yeah, I have heard some sayings that, oh, this is just so light and so pure. There's only joy. Where's the chaos? I even have been asked, where's the chaos? Where's the drama in it? I don't know. It's just not the thing I want to give people. It's not the main things that people should focus on. Maybe that I would say.
Yeah, I can totally agree. And I think that your creations, your art is very light. You focus on good experiences, blissful experiences, and also light plays. It seemed to play a very important role in your painting. And I love how you deal with colors. I think you are a total color master. And your details are so sweet and so cute. Like in the illustration series that you did for the book Gyveno Kartą, that was a poetry book. In English, it's called There Once Lived. Could you tell me a little bit about that project? Because the illustrations there are the cutest.
Oh, thank you very much for this appreciation. Well, the thing was that the project story behind was involving me, not involving, but inviting for me already, because the story was from that there was a dad that he wanted to create a poetry book for his daughter, for a little life lessons, for little experience sharing from his point of view to the little girl. And it resonated with me. I wanted to participate in such beautiful idea. And I found the poetry itself, it was very light and funny, and just like life, it was like simple things that matters the most that was mentioned in that poetry book. And I was inspired by it to visualize. I was seeing already what could be, what visuals would be in that lines, words. I also felt like that little girl of that I would receive that book, and what would have I seen in that in those words I hear. So I just let my mind flow on the paper with my hands. I wasn't controlling anything. It was like on the flow, absolutely. So
Yes, this is beautiful. And you can absolutely see that effortlessness in those beautiful works. How long have you been practicing transcendental meditation? And What impact of it do you see on your life and also on your creative work?
Yeah, that the thing of effortlessness that I mentioned in the illustrating part of this poetry book we were talking was, I can say it was from TM. It was clearly from it, because I was never used to do things effortlessly. I was just trying to control everything, rationalize everything, and this lightness of creation came from it. I am practicing TM 2 years and 7 months already. And this summer I finished the Siddhi program too. So I'm still in the Siddhi flow. I'm still feeling that the effect of it was very, very strong. And I haven't created anything after Siddhi because I'm a little bit afraid what's going to be out of it. So I'm just letting myself a little bit settle down. I control life a little less. I let more fluidity of action, of words, of mind in the flow. So it is, I can say it helped me to live more lightly and freely, and it helps to feel better. Just
And how does your routine look like? Your creative routine, and where does meditation fit in this routine?
oh, this one is my routine comes around on meditation. I adjust everything based on meditation time. So I meditate morning, then I have working time, and until evening practice. And then after practice, I rest or maybe work further on. So that's how my routine looks like with meditation.
That's beautiful. It seems that you are very established in a very nice, strong structure, and it seems that you are enjoying it, right? It's stable for you. How do you feel about it?
You know, it brings very much stability in life. This routine, I always thought of myself as not a routine person, because I thought it was too much controlling. But in fact, this routine helped me to stabilize myself more. And when I have a routine structured, and between the meditations, I feel more free of what I can do. It gives this a little bit of structure, gives more perception, freedom in life, but also this two points in a day helps me to be not flowing away like a little balloon to the
Oh
cosmos.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Did you notice something more that changed in comparison from before, how you were creating before you started meditating and how you are creating right now with this structured routine and very, very strong, powerful techniques?
Yeah, I felt it just at the very beginning. I started meditate, how it impacts my style. Also, I could say it impacted how I mix colors, how I put the layers, how I'm not that much afraid of experimenting.
Uh-huh.
It became more fun to do things that I don't know what's the result going to be. It's just like child a child. Let's do this. Oh, what can I do with this one? Let's try it.
Oh, that's amazing. This is where that the lightness comes from in your works, that you can see in your works. I also saw this beautiful animation, short animation, and I want that you made. And I want to read a little bit what you are saying about it, and let's watch it then. So you say that you made a 2D animation about transcendental meditation without any knowledge of 2D animation. And this short was called Fly. And the interesting part is that you made it before you learned the TM City program. The only knowledge, you say, then quote, the only knowledge I had about animation was the rotoscope method, which I learned the hard way, painting oil on cardboard animation in a movie called The Peasants. The Fly reel was made purely from my own experience of how transcendental meditation helped me in my personal growth, and how with this technique I began to appreciate each living being even more, how my surroundings are reflections of my own state of mind. End of quote. This is beautiful. I think let's watch the animation.
I wanted to mention something about this experimenting with animation. Maybe it was so much joy because I enjoy watching animation, and when the animation is very, very beautiful, I am thinking how to do it, and without having any knowledge of animation, to see that little actions impact of that drawing, that it could be still, but if you add another dot to it, it's already moving, and it was a pure joy to see how it works without any control, without any knowledge before.
It's like your exploration and discoveries transferred to not only still images, but also to animation. So you explored the animation too with that child approach.
Yeah, I imagined what could spark my attention. What would catch my attention as a child if I would be a child? And I looked at the movie, I looked at that idea of creating, and I wanted to make something fun, simple, and something with a little bit of meaning.
And I love that it's looping and it's endless and it's forever. It can go on forever. And I love how you chose a fly as one of the characters. That's so interesting. how you appreciate a little fly, which can be a little bit irritating, but actually it's a living being, so you really love it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, that was the point. That was the point. After starting meditating, I saw that we are not so subtle sometimes for smaller living beings, and even if they are annoying, we are not so subtle even more. So, but after meditating, it's perception changed about it, and I wanted to let the viewer see that growth, see that what happened there. There's still irritation. I mean, it's not like I'm purely enlightened. Yeah, it's still when I hear the fly, I take a look. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, but then I don't know. You just open the window and let the fly go away.
Right.
You just always find a solution for everybody to live here.
You have expressed a very beautiful thought about appreciating your surroundings and every living being more. So I think you are talking about this. And the other very interesting thing is about how you say that you see how your surroundings are the reflections of your own state of mind. I think this is so interesting. Can you tell me more about it?
Well, it's so simple sometimes. Well, it wasn't simple before I started meditating. I was always blaming the outside world, not myself. And after meditating, I saw how it works. It's always in your mind, in your consciousness state also, I would say like that. Because I even have an example, even when driving in the road with my car, when I have head full of thoughts, yeah, and I see so many cars, the traffic is chaotic, everything is like this, and when my mind is settling down a little, I start to feel more grounded, then the road becomes clear. This is the example I experience every day, almost every day. It's just a reminder for me how the principle of life works. So with that fly is also the same. If I feel irritated, there will be always this fly in my room. And she will want, or not she, but it will want to be near my drawing, near somewhere biz here, somewhere biz here. It's always like that. But if you settle down, then it's just that fly it is not so interested by you anymore if you are settled down. Really funny.
This is a little like it's a little magical how everything works.
It is. Life is pure magic.
How does this magic appear in your work? How does this magic from practicing TM and TM Cities program transfer to your work even more?
Well, you see, I even the inspiration itself became I started to notice the inspiration impulse physically. It's like, oh, I see something that inspires me, and with this meditation, you start to feel yourself more and more subtle, So you just scan your body all the time. You feel yourself very, very good, very well. You feel it. And when you see something inspiring, you just feel your body wants to expand on it. You want to share it. You want to just take a look. Everybody, look what a little bit of joy I saw in life, and I want to show it to you all. And this is how that magic with the M is combined. That there is no magic. Everything works so magically that there's no magic, just like that.
It's just normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
The most profound magic is actually a normal existence.
Exactly that.
And I can really relate when you are telling that you can feel inspiration in your body, like there's some joy that comes and you you really want to express it. Yes, I really feel it. I think this is the real actual, that's it, that inspiration that actually drives everything. And then it also stays in the work which you create, and it transfers to the viewer and it inspires them. And this is like a chain reaction, and then they also want to expand and create or share however they are doing it. I think this is the one of the most important meanings that art has for the audience. It's just inspiring like this, and like inspiring the progress.
Exactly. You just by having joy yourself, you are inspiring others to have joy also.
Right. Do you want to share something else to elaborate on some idea that you mentioned on or have not yet mentioned that you have discovered after starting meditating?
Well, the examples I was talking about with driving car, with the fly, I started to notice that these things are just natural laws. That
Right.
these are no lucky accidents. I just wanted to highlight this, that it's just how life works. If you experience such things as lucky accidents, you just start to read it as nature is supporting you, and this is the right way to do it for you. If you go without, if you deal with life without frictions, you just understand that you are in the right way, on the right path for yourself. So, just to highlight this idea, I just wanted to do that.
Oh, this is so amazing. Did you notice it from your life more, or does those do you also feel it when that inspiration comes and some projects are coming, or how do you see it in your how do you see it playing in your work?
Well, this is so weird. If I wouldn't meditate, then I would say this is weird, but it's not weird. But every time I start to create something, you feel the flow, you are in the flow, you forget to eat, you forget to live, you forget outside world absolutely. And but you, at the same time, you are experiencing such a blissful state, I would say, to create, to paint, to draw. And when I concentrate myself on art, as I mentioned, outside world lives outside and you forget about it. And it starts to unfold itself. It starts to do itself. You don't have to do almost anything about it. It just the points are starting to align on one line, because you yourself are on the right pathway, you're doing what you have to do, and then nature just supports you by doing the, yeah, I would say account things for you. You just create, you just paint, you just draw, we will do everything for you. Sometimes it felt like that, yeah.
Oh, it would be so wonderful to just be in that flow forever.
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
I think this is what we are doing with this regular practice of TM. We are just refining everything, everything, refining so we can feel those little impulses like signposts showing towards that flow.
Yeah. Just this is how nature works.
Yes. It would be really interesting to also hear your thoughts about like a bigger picture of the arts. Where do you see the future of arts? And what is needed in the art world? And what do artists as individuals need to be more appreciated?
Well, you know, I would like to see the future so bright, I would need to wear sunglasses every day and every time of the day.
Yeah.
As David Lynch told once. Exactly. I haven't prepared mine, but very nice, Ruta, very nice. So this is the thing I would want for every artist to feel, to be sure and secure about the future, that we are in a very bright way, that we are going towards the light, that everything is going to be okay, and creating out of joy is just the right way, I would say, if I can say that.
Yes.
So yeah, and yeah, just let it be. Let it happen. Nature, do it for the artist and for the art world. One more part about creating out of joy is, for me, is that when you share joy, others perceive joy. And when you are in joyful state, when you are happy, you cannot do things that are not right in nature. You are just not supporting negativity, not entertaining it, and by that you are looking at the things that you want to grow. You put your intention, what you want to grow, and if everybody would create out of joy, then just everybody would perceive more joy. That would be so nice. Such a nice idea for me. And yeah, because sometimes we don't think of that very often, but we are very interconnected with each one of us. So you can take not so more simple things as a nice word to somebody. We may think it doesn't have any influence on others, but it does. It can make the other person's day brighter, and that brighter day might inspire to be an inspiration for a person to live a better life. It could be it could make a chain reaction, and it is very, very important, I think, to understand how influencers we are all, how how much of influencers we are, even though we don't have an Instagram of million followers and everything. But we do influence every day. So yeah.
I agree. I absolutely agree with this. And how do you think TM helps to feel more of that joy? Because we cannot pretend to be joyful if we are sad or if something bad has happened. It's really hard to just be positive. Then there's a like a well, it's not good to pretend to be joyful if you are not. So how does transcendental meditation help create this joy? And how can it help for this future?
Well, you start to meditate and you just start to feel your body in more subtle ways. And you start to feel what is right for you. And so you take better attention to what actions are bringing more joy to yourself. It's not like you are pretending. You just search for things and start to do things that makes you more joyful, more happy, to expand that feeling. So TM, just by refining ourselves with TM, we are coming a little bit more closely to that feeling of joyfulness more and more in everyday life. Yeah.
How do you feel this simple joyfulness that grows more and more in everyday life? How do you think it will help achieve the fulfillment in the arts and even create peace in the world?
Well, when you feel joyful, you want to share joyful, right? You want to paint that joy, right? And you help to see others where the joy could be. It could be in the simple sun rays going through the tree leaves. Simple rainbow after the rain could bring the joy. And if you share it, people start to notice it sometimes a little bit more. And by this little things, you can achieve actually big things comes from little things. Many little things create big things. So if everybody would do just a little bit of the joy, you don't have to be joyful all the time. You don't have to be you just be naturally yourself. And by little simple acts, if everybody would do that, a little bit of it, it would create like a wave of goodness, like for everybody. Something like that, as I can see it, at least now.
Yes, I think this is it. Yes. Do you want to also tell me about one of your paintings?
You know, it was maybe a year when I was meditating, and I felt so much joy of reconnecting with myself and by finding the real source of light, that you are the source of everything, that yourself is the thing that you take a look in when something outside is not right. You take a look at yourself. So this painting recognized the feeling that all the joys, all the light, all the treasures in life is in oneself. All the joy is in yourself, and it's not even in the techniques that you are using. You can transfer the biggest ideas in the most simple ways of painting. Because the most important thing that how you were feeling when you were painting that, where you were drawing that, and because the viewer will read it, they will see what was going on with yourself, and by that I was just thinking how good it is to see that that you are that you are the source of everything.
Yes.
In life. Yeah. So that would be for short. I could go on a little bit by how I was also involved and reconnected with astrology by then, and it was very somehow it stuck with me very hard, that idea of how it is important that the stars you were born under when you were born, and that the moon, I was thinking so much of that. So because maybe when you look at the night sky and the moon and stars looks very, very far away, but actually sometimes you feel it's on you, it's so close, you are almost one, all that nature and power. So
Yes, this is beautiful. I love how you connect that joy is found in yourself, in your own self, and transcending actually gets us into that unbounded, infinite state of self, from the capital S to the field of pure being. And I think this then connects beautifully how to the answer you were telling about how we can achieve peace in the world and fulfillment in the arts by just connecting to ourselves and then experiencing more joy, less stress, and then just expressing more of that joy and creating that chain reaction you were mentioning. And of course, there are many research studies done on this, but it's also felt just on on experiential, very individual, very simple level by anyone who learns to transcend.
yeah,
But yeah,
transcendent
so
just it just changes life. It feels like you're just going back to the careless childhood where everything was simple, was more simple.
this is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Justina, for sharing your inspirations and your thoughts and your experiences about art and transcendental meditation, and now even TM cities, which is just pure magic.
I agree.
Thank you so much for being on this interview, and I'm really grateful for it.
Ruta, I would like to thank you as well. Having me here is such a joy, and talking with you is really the nicest experience. Just feels safe and appreciated. So thank you very much for this nice conversation.
Okay, so I wish you the best inspiration and the most joy in your work and in everything that you do.
Thank you very much, Ruta, for you too. For you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.